PokerStatic.com. We bring you the interviews you want to hear. Now with your hosts, Bret Oliverio and Eric Bickel, the Poker Static Hot Seat.
What's up? Welcome to the Poker Static Hot Seat. Bret Oliverio, and Eric Bickel is actually having technical difficulties, so he's having some computer issues. So I'm going to be doing the interview solo. Thanks for and our guest tonight is Sebastien Sabic. He is a 24-year-old poker pro. He's in Las Vegas for the World Series of Poker. Sebastien, how are you?
Good. How are you? I'm fine. Just woke up for this interview, but apart from that, I'm all good.
I know the life of a poker pro. I mean, you're up, what is it, 11 a.m. out there. What time do you normally get up in Vegas?
I used to play lots of tournaments at 12, so I used to wake up like 11 or something, but I've been playing lots of cash game lately, and I usually end up playing until like 7 a.m. or something, so I've been waking up more around like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. But. Oh,
wow. Cool. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show, and why don't you tell people that are sort of just checking you out and learning about you for the first time, because I didn't know a ton about you until I started researching for the interview. And first off, you're 24 years old. You are a mixed game specialist. You've been in the game for roughly 3 or 4 years, and High Stakes Database has you up over $1 million in 2011. So why don't you sort of tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, that's about right. I've been playing poker for about 3 or 4 years, including like 2 years professional. I've never really played No Limit. I started playing like mixed game when I started, especially Just to 7. I've been doing very good in Just to 7 ever since, so I just never really went into No Limit. I've always been doing good, and once I started adding draw games and full tilt, this is when I really like took off and won lots of money, especially with that big 1,500, 3,000 games they had. So yeah, I mean that's how I really made most of my money.
And now what's sort of unique about that is a lot of the players that we know, they started off in No Limit Hold'em, then they move on to PLO, then they jump into the mixed games. You sort of did it the exact opposite way. I know you said I read that you weren't very good at No Limit. Sort of why did you kind of go backwards from most of the big name poker pros?
Well, I didn't really go backwards. I just like in my niche, and I just played lots of triple draw. I just knew there were lots of potential for mixed game and triple draw to be played for high stakes. So I've been training for for a few years to be good in that game. I didn't go backwards in a way that I never played No Limit. I mean, even now, it's not like I played mixed game and then switched to No Limit. I just played straight mixed game for forever. I've been doing good. I mean, it's so much easier now to make money in mixed games than No Limit. No Limit is so tough right now. You get so many players. I mean, even if you have a look at the No Limit lobby, you have like 20, 50 people waiting to play. In the mixed game, I'm like usually the only one, so I get lots of action, so I don't really need to play No Limit.
What about live? I know you're playing a lot of live out in Vegas. Are the No Limit games out there tough, or are those pretty easy to beat?
I think they're tougher than a mixed game for sure. But I mean, I don't play the games, but just from having a look at it, like if you look at a 10, 20, 40 No Limit at the Bellagio, the average age is going to be like 27 or something. If you look at a like 300-600 mixed game, which I'm playing, the average age is going to be like 45. So I mean, just by that, it's like quite easy to, judge like if a game is good or not. Because like if you see a game 10, 20, 40 No Limit with like 8 young players, it's probably not very soft. So.
Now, how exactly did you build your role? Because, I mean, you just started playing the game a few years ago, and then all of a sudden you're playing these nosebleed games, the biggest games online and the biggest games live. How exactly did you build your role? Was it the traditional way? Were you staked? What was that process like?
Sure. 1,500 limit. Then I was staked to play like 1-200 and 2-4 and took the first shot at 4-800 on Warrior Stars. It didn't go too well at first, but my backers had some faith in me, so they kept putting me in the game, and I ended up winning pretty big. So now I can play those games on my own money. So it's pretty good.
Wow. What was that pressure like when you were being backed? I mean, is it a lot of pressure on you? Because not only do you have to win for yourself, you have the pressure of someone risking potentially hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars backing you in these games.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it kind of went progressively. They started backing me for 1-200, which wasn't too big for them. I mean, for my backers. So I don't have too much pressure. Plus, I live with them, so they could see me play, days after days. I'm quite good friends, so I didn't feel this pressure too much, to be honest.
And now, of course, you're talking about Alex Luneau, or Luneau. How do you say his name? Alex Luneau?
Luneau, yeah.
Luneau, Alex Luneau, and Bickel.
It's Luneau, yeah. And Bickel, yeah.
Now, those are your backers, and obviously those are some pretty good poker minds to be hanging out and living with, right?
Yeah, I spent lots of time with Alex Luneau. We live together when we're staying in Vegas together. We live in London together. We spend lots of time in Thailand together too. He has been my main backer for about 1 year now. Whenever I sell actions, he's who I'm selection to. I also spend quite a lot of time with Bickel, but just not quite as much because I spend more time in Macau. He has been spending lots of time in Macau lately. He had a few pieces of me and Alex when we play the big game, but not quite as much. I mean, but yeah, he's a very good player. Rico is probably one of the best heads-up piano player now, and Alex is probably one of the very best all-around mixed game player online because I really specialize in limit games, but he's just quite as good as me now in limit games, and he's extremely good also in no limit and PLO. So
wow.
All around, he's extremely good.
What have they said about the games in Macau? Now, we've talked to a bunch of the pros that head over there. Are the games still juicy over there, or are they getting pretty tough to beat? I
think they're getting tougher. I mean, when we was there 5 months ago, it was this heaven. Every table is so soft, blah, blah, blah. From what he has been saying now, it's 7 Europeans per table. So, I mean,
wow.
It's not quite as good. The big game is still very good, but it's very tough to get in. I mean, most European pros have been either cannot get in or have been banned from the game. So,
wow. So I have to ask you about Black Friday. I mean, mainly that was a problem here in the United States that sort of blindsided all of us. You guys, of course, live overseas and you can still play the games legally and everything's fine for you guys. What was that like adjusting for you? Have the games gotten harder or has it not been that tough on you?
Well, to be honest, our first concern was getting the money back. I mean, this is the only thing we focused on at first. Full Tilt has repaid us almost everything. I mean, I could cash out everything. Rico too, and Alex almost everything. So we've been doing pretty good on that. The game are now completely dead on Full Tilt because all the European cashed out the money just like we did. So nobody has any money left on their account to play. PokerStar, there have been some games running on PokerStar, but I wouldn't be able to say if they are tougher or no. Probably a little bit softer actually, but it's just no games really good playing. I mean, no games running. That's why I'm staying in Vegas for 7 weeks to play live because I don't have anything else to do really.
So you haven't been playing much online. There's just no games running.
I tried to, but I've been playing very, very small, something like 40-80. I mean, if I could play 1-200, that would be. So, I mean, nothing compared to before. I mean, I played some session against Gus. I did very good, but I didn't play many hands. I just ran good over the few sessions I played.
Now, did you say you cashed everything out? Is that what you said a minute ago? Oh, you did? Well, was that process difficult, or was it easy for you? Did they immediately just ship you guys the money?
We had to cash out 10,000 at the time. The maximum withdrawal limit was 10,000, so we just kept clicking 10,000. It took about 1 month and a half for me, and Alex is gonna take another month maybe, but it looked pretty good overall. I mean, it looks pretty good.
Wow, that had to be a relief to get your money off the site, right?
Yeah, that was a good relief because I had more than 50% of my bankroll on the site, and most of my roommates are over 2/3 of their bankroll on just on Full Tilt. So.
Wow. Now, I sort of remember where I was at a wedding and I found out about the news about Full Tilt and Poker Stars. Where were you? Where were you in your life when Black Friday kind of blindsided you?
I was actually in Thailand. It was something like 3 o'clock, and we were actually out in a nightclub in Thailand. And some of our friends called us and told us about what happened. And we actually were quite drunk, and we didn't believe him, so we just told him, hey, blah, blah, blah. We just kept on with what we were doing and just went to bed. And when we woke up the next day, we were like, oops, maybe we should have believed him and tried to cash out, to be the first one to cash out. Because like the first 3 cash out went a lot faster than
wow. Well, you grew up playing online poker. I mean, where do you see the future of the game? Have you heard anything from anyone? I mean, what are your thoughts about online poker, as a whole?
Well, I mean, without Americans, the game I play, I mean, as a whole, it's still quite okay because like there are still some big game running in No Limit or PLO. I mean, PokerStars traffic is only down like 22%, I think, so it's not too bad. It's just, I feel like those 22% are just like the games I was playing. I mean, games I'm playing are like completely dead. So as far as online poker is concerned for No Limit and PLO, it's still quite okay. It's just for mixed game, I don't know. I mean, as long as American won't be able to play, it looks like I won't be able to play too much online. So maybe I should play more here in Vegas because like games in Vegas here are very good. I mean, and quite lots of games actually running. Like on any given night here, you have 5 or 6 different games bigger than 1-200 between the Aria and the Bellagio. So maybe I should spend a few months here. Maybe I'll probably travel a lot too, and just not play quite as much. I've been playing a lot, like for the past 12 months, especially the past 6 months when the big game was running on full tilt. Mm-hmm. I was like always on call, just like if there was a good game running, I would wake up and play it. So it's time to relax.
Any thoughts of focusing all your concentration on No Limit and PLO and grinding those games online, or is that not your thing?
Probably. I mean, as I said before, it's really tough, and I know I'm never gonna make as much money in No Limit and in PLO compared to what I made in Deuce to 7 in mixed games. So I probably won't focus on that. Maybe I'll focus more on like playing live, like going to Macau and play live PLO games. But even this, I don't think there is that much money to be made. I mean, at least not compared to the money I made last year. So I guess I'll just play online a little bit, and I'll travel more. Like we have some game in Europe too, some mixed game in Europe too, in Paris and in London. I guess I'll just travel around Vegas, Paris, and London to play these games.
What's it like for you to play live? Is it boring? I would imagine you grew up playing online. It has to be brutal, right?
Yeah, it's extremely slow. The thing is, what I do, I just download like a bunch of movies on my iPhone and I just watch the movie while I play. I mean, this is the only way I found, to make playing live interesting. This is the only thing, really. Thing is, when you play late at night, that's why I've been playing very late at night. Games get short-ended, and it's a lot more interesting, and it's not quite as boring. But the thing is, for the game I play, when I play 8-handed, lots of the game, like Badusi, Badaisi, Deuce to 7, only play 6-handed. So 2 people have to sit out on every hand, which is like, even slower.
Yeah.
But that's also what makes the games quite good, because like people, when they are stuck, they just want to play every hand anyway, and they straddle and re-straddle. So because when you straddle, you can get a free hand, or not a free hand, but you can get a hand, and you don't have to sit out. So they straddle, and that makes the games actually quite good. But
okay, so you're out in Las Vegas. You're going to be there until, I'm guessing, the end of the World Series of Poker.
Yeah.
Where are you staying? Where are you and your buddies staying?
I'm staying at the Trump. It's almost on the strip. It's like just opposite of the Wynn. It's really nice. I mean, it's just a hotel. It's not a casino. So it's really quiet. Whenever I come back here, I feel like, there is a break from the whole Vegas atmosphere. It's like really quiet. We have actually a very nice view on the desert. Like it's not on the strip. It's on the other side. So it's really relaxing. It's like we are really out of the
yeah, you sort of get away. Yeah, you sort of get away from it all. Now,
I really need it.
Why don't you talk a little bit about the live games? Who are the big names that you've played with? How have you been doing? And sort of what's your take on the big live games during the World Series?
I haven't been playing the really big live games. I've been playing lots of like 3-600 and 4-800. Who are the big games I've been playing with? Actually, lots of online professional have been playing those games too, like players like Schneeblers. I've been playing a lot. I took one shot in Bobby's room. I played 1-2K mixed game. Who was that game? Cho Chiang was in that game. Phil Galfon, Big Sue, Yan Chen, and Michael Churitz, one of the notices. I did good in that. I mean, I played for like 3 hours. I won like 20,000, which is nothing. I mean, for the game, but it was like a good first shot in Bobby's room. Thing is, in Bobby's rooms, I have all sorts of weird games that even I have never played before when they play. Like, they were playing like a single draw limit, which I never heard of before coming in. So it's kind of, I don't want, to play my biggest game on games I never played before. So that's why I haven't been playing that game too much, but I probably will take some other shot after.
Wow. So you weren't tempted to go back after you booked a small winning session?
I'm definitely going back. I'm just waiting for like the right mix of games. I want to play at least once every game in the mix. I mean, I think it's quite low. I mean, I don't want to spew too much money in games I never played before.
So in that game, how much do you bring to the table? How much are you willing to lose? And do you consider yourself like do you have an edge? Do you consider yourself having an edge? Were you the fish at the table?
Yeah. I mean,
what was your mentality?
Yeah, I usually always try to play when I think I have an edge. That's why I haven't been playing that game too much. I would have played it more if I was just playing for the fun of it. How much I bring to the table? I think I bring like 80,000 or something.
Okay.
I would have rebought if I needed to. I was feeling very comfortable. I mean, the mix was pretty good to me actually. It was 4 games, deuce to 7 and ace to 5, in which I think I'm very good. Deuce to 7 Rise, which is like Rise with deuce to 7, which I love to do, which I love to play in Vegas, and no limit single draw, which is with no cap actually. Usually, like when you play live game, when you mix limit games and no limit games, the no limit games are capped. This one wasn't, so I was like a little bit worried because like I could play like almost 200,000 pot or something if I had to.
Wow.
But I didn't have to. The biggest pot I played wasn't very big actually. So.
How are your nerves? Because I was reading online that sort of playing in Bobby's room was almost like a dream of yours or a goal you wanted to accomplish. When you actually sat down, you didn't have like the shaky hands, did you?
No, I mean I've been playing. I mean, even if it was smaller, I've been playing like lots of 800 live, and I mean like 1-2K is just like 2.5 times as big, so it's not like that much bigger. And I mean, I've been playing lots of 1,500, 3,009, which is bigger than the 1-2K I play at the Bellagio. So I know I wasn't too shaky, and I've been playing live a lot. I mean, when I'm in Europe, I go to Paris like once every month or something, and I play like 600 euros or something limit. Mm-hmm. So I mean, this is like 500, 1,000 US dollars. So I've been used to like playing quite a lot of big games. So.
Now you said Chow was in the game, Phil Galfon, and a bunch of others. Who impressed you? Playing live, and who was maybe one of the guys that you felt you wanted to mix it up a little bit with?
Well, I don't really want to discuss specifically who I think is good or no.
I understand.
I just know that Yan Chen, Big Sue on full tip, is actually quite good in all the low ball game. I mean, he knows all the games. He's been playing lots of no limit single draw, lots of face to 5, lots of deuce to 7. So he was probably the best player in the game, to be honest. But
wow.
I mean, apart from that, I've had pretty good in that game.
Now, I was following you on Twitter, and I think you said you were down maybe overall in the cash games. How have your results been over the World Series as a whole?
I'm losing a little bit. I'm losing something like 50. I'm actually up in a cash game. I'm down like about 100 in tournaments. Mainly, I play all the 10Ks. I mean, almost all the 10Ks. I haven't cashed. Played lots of smaller ones too. I've staked a lot of people who haven't cashed. So tournaments are like absolutely awful to me. And so yeah, pretty much I'm down like 50. I mean, down 100 in tournament, winning 50 in cash game. Playing mainly like 600. So. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the way I'm playing. I mean, I think I'm playing great. And just, if you don't score a big score in one of those tournaments, you just can't really make money. So.
I mean, that must be frustrating because obviously you can grind out the cash games and make a profit, but then you're spending all day and night over at the Rio playing the big buy-in tournaments. You're staking some people. How frustrating is it for you not to cash when you could be at the Bellagio winning money in the cash games?
Well, at least for me, it's quite okay because I haven't even been making difference. I'm just like busting like very fast, so I have time to go and grind the cash games. For my roommate, Alex, it's a lot tougher on him because he has been pretty much bubbling every tournament he has played. Ooh. So like he can't even grind live. So I mean, I actually feel kind of lucky that I'm busting very early, so I don't have too much frustration because like I'm never in good shape in tournaments, and I have time to play cash games. Wow. So at least we still have the 50K coming in like 1 week or whatever it is, and we're gonna play with Alex. So we have like quite lots of ops on that one.
Now, are you gonna have all of yourself in that game, or do you guys sort of buy pieces of each other? Or how does that work?
What we actually did, we are both gonna play, so it's gonna be like 100,000 total, 50 for me, 50 for him. I put in 1/3, he puts in 1/3, and we sold the other third.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So I'll have a third of myself. I'll have a third of Alex, and pretty much it.
Oh, nice. Have you? What was I going to ask you? Oh, Daniel Negreanu's fantasy, his World Series of Poker $25,000 buy-in, big fantasy draft that everyone was talking about. I guess he wrote a blog, and I read it, and he said he had no idea who you were, but at the same time, you were a PokerStars pro for a while. You've played with him online. Were you surprised that he sort of was clueless as to who you were?
I was very surprised. I actually talked to him about that because he was on my table in one of the 10K No Limit Single Offer. I asked him about that, and he told me that he actually knew my screen name, Seb86, just couldn't match it with my real name. I was actually very surprised in that fantasy draft. I went for so high. I went for like 40 points, which I was like 21st or something. Only 20 people went for a bigger amount. And I think what actually happened is like, I didn't tell anybody if I was coming to Vegas or not, so people had no clue whether I was going to play lots of event or not. But I'm actually quite good friend with Luke Schwartz, Full Flush.
Yeah.
And one of his good friends, who is James Board, was actually bidding on me quite a lot in that thing because he knew I would be coming. He was pretty much the only one who knew I would be coming to Vegas and play lots of events. So that's why I went for so high. But I was so surprised. And the worst thing is like Alex didn't even get picked, not even for $1. And we're playing the same events, and he's actually probably a better pick than me because he's better in No Limit and PLO. I mean, he would have been a better pick, but he didn't even get picked, and I got picked for 40. I haven't been a very good investment so far, to be honest.
There's still a ways to go in the World Series. Now, you mentioned Full Flush. What kind of guy is he? Is he a good guy? What's his deal? He is? Tell me a little bit about him.
He's very funny. I mean, I enjoy spending time with him. He used to make lots of money playing No Limit. I mean, he has been crushing the Euro site for like years. Mm-hmm. He switched to mixed game like when I met him like about 6 months ago. I think he has been doing all right since. I haven't seen him too much of the World Series. I know he has been playing lots of events. I don't think he's been doing good so far in this World Series, but I'm sure he will end up doing good in the end. I mean, he has good understanding of the game. Like, he's not the most rational player, but he has like a very good feel overall for the game. And he's a good guy. I really enjoy spending time with him.
Now, you mentioned you were down $100,000 in the tournaments. Are you running bad? Are you playing bad? Is it a combination of both? Are you looking forward to getting over to the cash games? What exactly is going on there?
Maybe for like the small one, like something like the 1500 stud 8. Like when I was short, I was just like gambling it up because like I didn't want to like spend too much time in a 1500. But as far as the 10Ks go, I think I've been playing really well. I just didn't catch any cards really. I mean, you know, it's a tournament, like 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make the money. So, yeah, I mean, I know I still feel good about how I was playing. I still think I was one of the best players in my starting table every time. I just really couldn't get anything going. The only tournament I could have something good going was 10K stud high. I was chip leader going into day 2.
I read that.
I started day 2 pretty good too. I was chip leader after like level 10 or level 12. I just lost every single hand for like the next 4 levels. So I was out like 29 something once I paid like 24, I think. So
that's brutal.
yeah, that was fairly frustrating. But that's the only tournament where I made a deep run. So.
Now, are you one of these guys who are you there to win the bracelet? Are you all about the bracelet, or are you all about the money? Well, what's your motivation?
Bracelet for sure. I mean, even if I win, I mean, I usually swap a lot with Alex, so like the money really isn't very big. I mean, I just want the bracelet. I mean, that's why I've been playing lots of events. Like, if that was just for the money, I would never play like the 1500 or something. But like, if you play 1500, I know it's gonna take like 8 hours on average, which is, which is a lot considering, you know, the games that are running. So no, I would just play the 10Ks if that was for the money. I just want the bracelet. I don't have any bracelet bet for, but I'm trying really hard to win.
Now, you, I guess for half the year you live in Thailand, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
And I was reading that, you know, you like to go out with your friends and have a good time. How are you balancing poker and all the nightclubs in Vegas? Are you at excess all the time getting bottle service, or how are you balancing poker and sort of having a good time in Vegas?
Pretty much the same as we do in Thailand. I mean, we haven't going out that much in Vegas. We have gone out like maybe 3 times. We have been to Surrender, Excess,
Nice.
and another club, I don't remember the name. I mean, yeah, clubbing in Vegas is fun. It's just not quite as fun as in Thailand for us. We have been playing a lot too. So in Vegas, when we go out, we usually try to do like some nice restaurant. Cause that's the thing we don't have in Thailand. Like, we don't have like fancy, nice restaurant like 3-star Michelin, like the Joël Robuchon or the Picasso. So that's really what we try to do in Vegas when we have like a free night where we're not playing.
Now, where did you grow up exactly, and what brought you to Thailand?
I grew up in France. I just had a normal childhood, I guess. What brought me to Thailand is like one of my good friends moved to Thailand because one of his good friends was in Thailand. And it was just at the time when I was like considering playing poker full time. He just invited me over for what was initially like 2 months. I've been staying for like the last 2 years or something. I mean, when you play poker, it's a perfect setting because like you can play, and as soon as you finish with your session, you can go relax on the beach. You can go out. It's really nice. I really like it.
So you're going to be there for a while, you think?
It's really relaxing.
Oh, nice. I wanted to ask you about your future because you're at the World Series of Poker now. You're trying to win a bracelet. You're grinding the cash games. What's for you in the future? Because the big online games have dried up. Are you going to be traveling the world playing live? Have you not put much thought into it? You know, how exactly are you going to handle poker from here on out after the World Series?
Well, to be honest, my life is a lot going to depend on what happens with the US. I mean, like if the US can play online or not. What's probably going to happen the next 6 to 8 months? I'm probably going to travel a lot. I kind of like want to live like a few months in like lots of different places. I want to live a few months in New York City. I want to live a few months in Hong Kong. I want to live a few months in Tokyo just to get a good feel for the city and like different culture, different way of life. I think this is what I'm going to do for the next 6 months. I don't think I'm going to be playing too much poker. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of burned out from like all the poker I've been playing for the past years, even 2 years. So I just kind of want to relax more and enjoy life, enjoy the money I made last year. You know?
Is poker still fun for you, or is it more of a job now?
No, it's still fun to play. I mean, I can be like a little bit burnt out on some days, but if I don't play for 5 days, I just want to play. I just want to gamble. I mean, it's really fun for me to play.
Oh, yeah. Now,
especially when
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, especially when I play big games. Like, if I play like smaller game, like 1, 2, 400, it feels like a grind because like nothing can really happen. But when I take shots in like Bobby's room, like playing 1,000. I still get the excitement. I mean, I'm not like shaky or like stressed out, but I still get I think
adrenaline.
It's like good mix. Yeah, I still get the adrenaline. So.
Now, I was reading a little bit on 2+2. I guess you were interested in blackjack theory. Do you do sports betting? Well, we know a lot of poker players, get in and donk off money in other ways in the casino. Are you a blackjack player, sports bettor?
Actually, yeah. I mean, I've been playing lots of blackjack. Now I've been barred in most Vegas casino. I mean, I can't play anymore the Bellagio. I can't play anymore the Aria. I can't play anymore the Rio. So I just kind of stopped playing. I mean, I play like a few sessions here and then in the casino that haven't barred me. But
so they know that you're counting, and then they just They cut the deck?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they just call like the casino manager or shift manager, whoever it's called, and it just informs you that you are no longer welcome to play blackjack. You can play anything but blackjack, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I have a friend that's sort of banned from everywhere in Vegas as well. Now, have you mastered blackjack? Could you make money at that without a doubt?
With just counting cards, yeah, of course. I mean, you can still. That's why the casino has been banning counting player who counts card. I mean, yeah, of course you can make money. The thing is, your hourly rate is it's not very good. I mean, I used to count card not really to make money, but just because I kind of love flipping, especially when I'm down after a session. So what I would do, I would just go to a table, count card until it's a good spot for me, and just put a big bet. So I would flip whatever I was winning or not. Just I was just looking to do neutral EV flip rather than losing money. So. Oh
wow! What about sports betting? Are you into that?
I'm into that. I'm not actually good at handicapping sports, but what I do is I just look at what is the line online for a given game, what's the online market, and I just compare it with whatever line the casino is giving. And sometimes the casino is way off compared to what the online market is. So I just bet on whatever, if they think what team, a given team is a favorite and the casino thinks the other team is a favorite, I just bet on that. Yeah.
All right. So in the near future, what events are you going to play? What's on tap tonight? What's going to happen for you in these next couple days and weeks?
I'm still going to play another 4 or 5 events. My next event is probably going to be the 1500 shootout, limit on them, which is quite fun because you get to play short and hit quite a lot. Because as soon as people burst, they are not replaced, so it's quite fun. But I'm just really looking forward to 50K. I mean, this is almost my last chance to have a good World Series, having a dip on that one. So I'm really looking. And of course the main event, but I mean, winning the main event is quite tough. So.
Are you gonna have a bunch Are you gonna have a bunch of horses in the main event?
I'm gonna have pieces of maybe 10 different people, 10, 15 different people. Not full stake, just 5% of more, 10 different people. So it's a good sweat. I mean, plus it makes money over the long run, but it's a good sweat to know, to check on every single one of your horses. And when one makes a deep run, it's quite fun to sweat. So.
Cool, man. Well, listen, Sebastien, we appreciate you coming on the show. You seem like a good dude. Good luck in the cash games. Good luck winning your bracelet. And, I'm sure you're crossing your fingers for all this online poker stuff to get cleared up because I know us in the United States are really itching to start playing again. So, thanks for joining us. Did you want to promote anything? Your Twitter account, maybe?
Yeah, sure. You can promote me on Twitter at Seb86. But I don't really promote anything. I don't have any. I used to be PokerStar Pro for a year, but I'm not anymore. So I'm completely independent now. So.
Oh, nice. Now, was that by choice? Was the PokerStars thing your decision, or was it a mutual thing?
Well, no. What actually happened is I was only playing on the international site on PokerStar.com, and PokerStar had to launch PokerStar.fr, the French site, and it didn't really make much sense for them to have French play on the international site. And as they didn't want to play on the French side, they just told me. It made sense for them. And for me, it was quite good because in my contract, I couldn't play on a full tilt if I was PokerStars Pro. And this is just when full tilt started putting mixed games and draw games online. So I was it's fine with me. I just play full tilt. I just play the 1500 $3,000. It's alright if I don't get work.
Crushed that for over $1 million, so good decision.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate it. Good luck in the rest of the World Series, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, take care. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Take care, Bret. Thanks.
All right, see ya. Thanks.